Yes, hello everybody. This is Ray from Race United, and I'm back again. Now, as you can see in front of me, we've got Edycabas. This is the second edition. The first edition we did a few months ago during the summer, but obviously we've tried to organize something and come back again during this winter to, share opinions. Obviously, in this case, I'm the host. He's the interviewee. So he's gonna obviously answer a few questions, and we'll discuss things. It's not even questions; it's more of a discussion. So
Yep.
So yeah, Eddie, you're welcome.
How you doing, man? Thanks for
Yeah,
inviting me again.
listen, I'm honored to have you here. Obviously, on Twitter, you're very active when it comes to Pi Network, so I'm always excited to see what you got to say. Listen, it's just an introduction. So those of you that haven't actually watched you or didn't watch the previous video, tell us who Edycabas is, please.
Well, I was born in Mexico. I moved here about 20 years ago. I live in California. So I just have a normal job, 9 to 5. I have Today is my day off, so most of the time I'm always on Twitter. I used to make videos about my network about 2 years ago, but then for some reason they stopped watching them, so I stopped doing them. So basically, that's what I do most of the time on my day off. Try to answer questions, try to help some pioneers, and just put on Twitter what I like to say about Pine Network. That's all I can say about me at this point.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, obviously, we if you haven't watched the video Eddie Covers and I did, go back and watch it. Or I might, if I'm posting this right now, I'll probably put in the description as well. So you may go back, watch that. We spoke about a few things then. At the time, I think we weren't on mainnet migration yet, so there wasn't much to say about that. Now we are in mainnet migration, so people are actually getting their pies migrated, and it's very interesting. So I'm just gonna go straight to the point and ask Eddie. Eddie, have you been KYC then migrated yet?
I did my KYC about a couple months ago.
Right, that's
It
great.
was
And you've been
let me mention something about that. Many people do not know this. If you remember, I told you before, if you were muted globally on the Pi chat, you were not going to receive that notification to apply for KYC. So it happened to me. I talked to some of the members. This, I think it was a moderator in Pi chat.
mm-hmm.
I asked him about that. I asked so many people they can help me to get unmuted. So it happened. The couple hours later, I received the notification. Next day, I passed KYC. So I told the same information to this member from India. He was muted globally. I contacted the person that helped me. I sent the guy to talk to that person. He got unmuted. Right away, he got the notification. He passed KYC. So it
Right.
was true what I was
Mm,
thinking before. I know
right,
some
right.
members said that it was no
Correlation.
yeah, so it was true. So
Uh,
for those members who are muted globally, you should talk to some of the moderators and ask them
mm,
if they can forgive you.
yeah,
You know what? I don't
absolutely.
even go to the pie chats anymore. I don't want to
Yeah,
deal with those members anymore.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
stay on Twitter and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. So you've heard Eddie covers. To be honest, I didn't know about that. So obviously, I don't go there often, but when I go there, I'm sort of just an observer. I observe things. I may input one or two things, but I don't interact a lot there. I do watch, just to watch, read what people are saying, interesting stuff. Some people are very knowledgeable, and some are not so that knowledgeable. So you just look at it,
Yep.
and you just take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's all great. Now, when it comes to the let's talk about KYC first before we go to mainnet migration in that order. Now, a lot of people are complaining at the moment about KYC and the fact that some of them haven't been KYC'd yet. Most of their downlines have been KYC'd. Some are just a month or two into their membership as pioneers, and they've been KYC'd. Um, so yes, I receive a lot of complaints from people. What is your take on what's happening with regards to KYC? In effect,
KYC,
mass KYC. Yeah.
as always, my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I always talk about what the other members are always complaining. The Piker team always mentions that this is the mass KYC. and then the time comes, there's no mass KYC.
Mhm.
So I always say on my tweets, okay, it's not working. They need to do something about it. We need to ask questions directly to the PICOR team. But other people, like, they get offended because I ask these questions. To me, is still slow. I know they said recently that they did something to make it better, but I can hear every single day pioneers cannot pass KYC. They're not even receiving the notification to pass KYC. I have no idea what's happening, to be honest with you. So to be honest with you, since I passed KYC, I stopped getting information about it because I don't need it anymore. I know that's kind of a little bit selfish, but I'm focusing more on the latest news. And I know some people send messages to me private, and I cannot help them because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And as always, they say some things, the time comes, it's still the same. A little bit better, but not what they said that is going to be mass KYC.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I probably would second what you're saying, which means I, in a way, support what you're saying. It's I do get a few hints here and there. That's the truth. I do get a few hints here and there, and from what I've been made to understand, mass KYC, if it was supposed to happen, it should have been end of last year, which is 2022, December 2022, towards the end of 2022. That was the plan. Now, and then of course, as we were about to enter the new year, we had some things which I'm going to talk about later. But right now, as we speak, the core team are looking at mass KYC being obviously one of the main milestones that we need to cross. However, the problem with that is if we do cross that, we could have another problem, and that problem could be loads of traffic on our system. Now, if there's a lot of traffic on it, it's going to cause a glitch, and that glitch eventually would cause our system to crash. Do you know what I mean? And that's the
I was
fear.
thinking about that yesterday.
Yeah, that's the fear. So it is not that because remember they haven't actually openly promised us mass KYC's dates. They haven't openly promised us mass KYC's dates. That's something that I can defend them on. I can
Yeah, I
defend them on that.
understand.
Yeah, they haven't promised us on
But
that.
when they
Yeah.
hear, like, average pioneers, when they hear mass KYC, they think that they're gonna get it finally.
Yeah.
Like today in the morning, two people asked me, "Hey, what's going on? Can you help me with KYC?" I said, "I have no idea. I don't know
Yeah.
how to help you."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you or I can do to affect the progression of KYC. There's nothing we can do other than to, you know, tell the others to exercise some sort of patience, which I believe they've exercised for the past few months, years, depending on how long you've been on Pi. But all I'll say is this is a process. And if anything is a process, patience is key. I've realized something the past few days, which we'll discuss further down the line. And from what I've realized, Pi Network it's got some inroads and it's making some inroads as well. Very interesting inroads, which we'll discuss later. So with mass KYC, personally, I would say I keep telling my downlines, I keep telling people that watch this channel that look, I can only say be patient and keep mining. Those are the words I can use. Keep mining, but don't be negative. That's why I tell them, don't be negative. It's natural to be negative when you haven't got the KYC, and you would say, yeah, but you've got your KYC. That's why you're easily saying that. It's not
Yep.
like that. When I hadn't had my KYC, which was when I had my KYC was I think it was May this year. So before then, I hadn't had my KYC. You get what I'm saying? The only thing I
Yeah.
had was the IoT verified sort of
Me
KYC,
too.
but
Yeah, me too.
exactly, we both had that. But apparently, that wasn't a complete KYC. So I was in limbo just like everybody else until I was invited to have my KYC done. So that's why I keep telling people, let's just fly here. That's why I keep telling people, be patient, be patient, especially when you're new. The older pioneers, I understand their plight. The newer pioneers, I would say be patient. You've not been long enough to be complaining about KYC. We have. So those of us that have been here 3 years, 2 years, yes, they have every right to complain about KYC. Do you have anything to add to it before we move to the next
No,
segment?
I think that's about it. I agree with you. We're just
Yeah.
saying.
All right, that's cool. Thank you so much. So the next one is about mainnet migration. That leads us on to that. So certain people have passed KYC. They're in the queue for mainnet migration. What would you say to those people before we go into the mainnet migration itself? What would you say to the people that are in the queue for mainnet migration?
Well, first of all, they need to have patience. You know, every single day they ask the same question. Hey, I already passed my KYC. I already transferred my Pi to the mainnet wallet. It's not there, and you have to wait 14 days to be able to get it. That's the one thing, right? And then for the other one that for some reason it's not working, honestly, I have no idea what to tell them. I think the Piker team is trying to. Actually, yesterday, this pioneer sent me a screenshot that he got the coins returned. He already transferred them to the mainnet wallet, and then the core team, I think there's a new system. He got the coins back, and it says you had to wait until they can be migrated again. And I actually tweeted about this, and nobody could help because it's only like a few people that got this notification. But it says at the end that if you already pass steps 1 through 7, what you have to do is be patient, and it's going to be automatically that you're going to be able to do it again if you done it and it didn't work. The
Yeah,
migration.
it's a strange one when it comes to the mainnet migration, especially the first phase of it, where people would be in the queue waiting to be prompted to obviously get their mainnet migrations done. Me personally, what I've got to tell them is, like you said, patience definitely, but it's a process where probably it's the pinnacle before open network. You get what I'm saying? So once you're there, you know you're one step away from spending your Pi on the exchanges or during the open network. So I believe the core team are being cautious with that as well. You understand? I believe they're being cautious. And so, as much as we think the AI is the one that selects everybody, there is a vetting process going on, which we don't know. To be honest, we don't know.
Exactly. We
So,
don't know.
we don't know. But all we know is there's definitely a vetting process, or probably a vetting process ongoing. And that is where people would have to be patient because they're dealing with millions of people. Millions of people, it's not a joke. It doesn't matter how much the refresh rate is. It doesn't matter how much the scalability, how high the scalability is. It's still are people that they're dealing with, so they have to be patient and wait for the system to select them. And once it selects them, they will get their Pi migrated to their wallet. You get what I'm saying? People
And also,
anyway.
let me mention something about that. So sometimes I think, what is exactly what they want? They just want to know that their coins are going to be migrated to the mainnet wallet,
Yeah.
or they want to have the coins because they want to trade them,
Spend them. Yeah.
right? Or even
Yeah.
sell them for
Yeah.
fiat because it's
Yeah.
happening. Even though
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
members keep saying that it's not,
You
it
know it's
is. You
happening.
can you
Yeah.
can see it in the block explorer.
Yeah. It's
I
happening.
do the analysis all the time,
Yeah.
and you can see it's like 220
Yeah.
average per
Yeah.
transaction. I mean, that's high.
That's high.
And but for me, it was like before I got KYC, I just wanted to know that my coins were going to be in the mainnet wallet because I already locked 100% of them for 3
Yeah.
years.
Yep. Yep.
See, so what is exactly what they want? Just want to
Mm.
be sure that the coins are saved in their
Yeah.
wallet, or they
Mm.
want to start trading it.
No, I think the point you're making is absolutely clear. The people that haven't actually locked up much, or probably have locked up 50%, or maybe even 90%, you understand? The percentage that's left that will be in circulation, quote unquote, or in their wallet, they're waiting for that to be in their wallet so they can, use it. I mean, trade it in whatever form they want to. It's their prerogative, of course. That's why they've left that aside. Now, I keep telling people very consistently that your Pi is your Pi. However you deal with it, that's your Pi. But as long as the pie is not in your wallet yet, you can't break the rules. Even if it's in your wallet, you still can't break any rules. But now you need to be patient, follow the rules exactly to the T that you've been told. Because one thing you don't have control of at the moment is your pie. You don't have control of it until we get onto the open network. Because if you commit an infringement during the this enclosed network, you could lose your account and in turn lose your pie, or you could lose your pie and in turn lose your account. Those are the pieces of advice I give people all the time. So you think you're in control of your wallet right now, but remember, we're not completely decentralized yet.
Yeah, it's centralized at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
you're
keep
not
saying
in
the same
control of your
thing.
pie.
I keep saying the same thing. They always ask me private, do you want to buy my coins? I said it's privated. It's privated. But I'm not gonna go in the tweets telling everybody you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You're gonna do whatever you want with your coins. If you get caught,
Exactly.
you're gonna pay the consequences. That's
Yep.
the way I am. I try not to tell people what to do
Nope.
within the project.
No, no. I mean, it's not a place to tell them. Everybody has their reasons why they are pioneers at the moment. Everyone has their reasons. So I can't tell anyone what to do with their pie after during during an open network. But right now that we're in the enclosed network, I want our systems to work well and work properly so that you can advise people, don't sell your pie now, because now it's illegal to sell your pie. You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
illegal to sell your pie. So that's what I try to tell people. And I hope they take the piece of advice that we give them. Anyway, so that is that with the the pre-mainnet migration. So during the time that you've been migrated, now everybody, some people have been migrated so far. And we do have the Pi utility platforms and all of that. Some of them, of course, in operation, albeit limited capacity. What do you think, in your opinion, is being done behind the scenes to ensure that pioneers have the freedom to, spend on certain utility platforms, knowing that their the item or whatever goods they've ordered for is going to be with them come what may?
Well, honestly, I today I posted something that the people that are ready to start trading Pi for goods and services, most of the people are not offering anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted, I want to spend 2 Pi for some goods. Who wants to offer it? Nobody says I.
Mm.
Nobody. I don't think that at this point members are going to be trading goods and services like in big scale
Mm.
because they're afraid. What if the coin is a different price once we enter open mainnet?
Yeah.
So the applications like PyChain Mall, I follow them, I do the analysis, but some members are mad because at this point you cannot withdraw your coins. Not yet. I don't know if it's already happening, but the last time was like, oh, I cannot withdraw the coins. I already
Yeah.
sold some items, and it's not happening. So I don't know how long it's gonna take to have really, really good utility apps within the
Right.
Pi browser. But for me, I already sold a couple of items. I met these members on Facebook and Twitter. They know me. They trust me. This is my policy. I could say
Yeah.
first I receive the item and then I send you the Pi.
Yeah.
For
Normal
me,
thing.
because I don't want to get
Yeah.
scammed.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But
That's.
but they know me. I'm gonna pay, and
Mm-hmm.
all the transactions. I think I already have like 9 or 10 transactions, and they're all happy, and I pay
Yeah.
right away. And they trust me. They said, "Don't worry, you can pay me whenever you get the product."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I got it. Here's the Pi."
Yeah.
That's the way it was supposed to be, like peer-to-peer transactions.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
True.
for me
True.
it's working, but recently I haven't been able to spend my Pi to buy products and
Yeah.
services.
Yeah. I haven't spent it on anything yet because I haven't seen, like you said, there's the trust factor. And if you don't trust somebody or a group of people, it's very hard to do business with them, because business is built on trust,
On
or
trust, yeah.
progressive business is built on trust. And if you don't trust the person potentially that you're going to do the business with, then there's no point. You get what I'm saying? There's no point.
Yeah.
And initially when you were talking, you spoke about people afraid to sell their pie. Sorry, to sell their
Trade.
products because they're trade because they're thinking that maybe the price of pie might be higher. What if the price of
or
pie is
even
low
lower
or lower? So let's say, what if the price of pie is higher than what they expected it to be? Then of course, they gain if the price of pie
yeah
is higher. So again, I think maybe they should set a threshold for themselves to say, all right, individually, looking at what's happening, maybe the price of pie will be such and such. So I'm going to go a little bit lower, to see how it goes. And then if the person buys from me, the price of pie might be higher. So I gain something. But if you're scared, I believe business is all about risk. There's always a risk factor in every business. Even what we're doing with Pi Network, we didn't invest money, but some of us are investing a lot of our time. Like you and I sitting here, we could use this time to spend with our family. But of course, we're here working for Pi, free of charge. We don't get anything from it. But at the end of the day, these are the sacrifices some of us have to make in order to build the ecosystem that we've been talking about. So personally, I would say they shouldn't be so scared, because in every business, there's always a risk factor. There's always a risk factor. Maybe the pricing of pies where they need to be cautious with the pricing. Don't go too low, don't go too high, because if you go too high, you're duping or you're exploiting the buyer. If you go too low, then you might be exploited as a vendor. So people have to be careful how they price their goods. Do you know what I mean? Or services in some cases. And that's what I think. What do you think?
I think I agree with you in everything you said.
Yeah.
I actually, when I got my KYC and I knew I was going to start selling some of the items I had with me, I sold a gold chain and I sold a ring, a gold ring.
Right.
Because I thought they got it. Like most of that was July. I don't remember if it was July, but then I said, okay, at least we have thousands of people that pass KYC. Some of them are going to start trading, offering goods. So I did that. And then I did two. And then I said, okay, let me ask somebody they can offer something. Nobody was offering anything. So that's when I was like, oh my God, I thought that they wanted to get to the coins to the wallet so they can start doing this. No, they just want to spend it.
On fiat.
That's their mentality.
Which is the next step we'll be talking about.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I thought they wanted this to happen. It's here, and they still scared, because in reality, most of them are here to benefit. To spend their coins. If it's possible to sell it right now without the core team knowing.
Yeah, I know. I do get a lot of messages from people. How can I sell my pie? How can I sell my pie? Even some people put in comment sections, how can I sell my pie? And I look at it and I smile, because obviously I'm not going to show you how to sell your pie, because I don't want you to sell your pie now. I don't want you to lose your account, because if they detect anything, if they detect a trail,
the
and they
wallet,
realize exactly, it's
they
very
can go
weird.
back to you.
Yeah, if it traces back to you, you could lose your pie and your pie
Yeah,
account.
actually, let me mention something. Today I posted something on Twitter, and I said I want to spend 2 pi at 96, which is the price of the IOU on the exchanges. I want to spend 2 pi or 96 something, and then nobody wants to do it. Everybody says, oh yeah, that's good that you're doing that, but nobody's going to offer anything. And then this person at the very bottom, he says, I can offer you $2 per pie, but he wants to sell for money. And I said, no, I'll offer you a product at that rate at $2 per pie. That's a strategy.
Of course.
If they want to sell it at $2, I will give them products they want to get
of course.
that amount.
You're bartering, so that's the whole point, isn't it?
So some people get offended when I say things like that. Like, no, this person wants to offer it for $2 per pie, I'll do it. But I was doing it for 96, which it was the price on the IOU.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're not gonna do it. And this person, they're probably trying to scam me.
Yeah, definitely.
They do it every single day.
Yep, definitely. So when you're selling it, obviously at a certain rate, they don't want to pay so much at that rate. You get what I'm saying? They don't
Yeah,
want that because they're
of
thinking,
course not.
yeah, why would we pay so much? And so on. Maybe we might get more if we exchange it for fiat during the open network, which leads me to the open network or open mainnet, as other people say. Now, obviously, a lot of people are sort of, I don't know, fast forwarding at the moment, considering what's been happening. But we will get there. We will get to the open network. Sorry, we'll get to the other thing. But with the open network, a lot of people obviously are thinking that there has to be the open network because of what's been happening. And before we get to what's been happening, I just want to ask you, what's your take on what the core team have been doing so far prior to open network? And what do you think the core team could do in order to get us to the open network? Maybe you are one of those that don't support us going into open network early, or if you are one of those that support us going into open network early meaning first quarter, which is what we're in at the moment. What do you think the core team must do? First quarter, second quarter, or you don't mind? And then of course
Well,
explain everything.
honestly, they're trying to be cautious. I understand that. And I actually, a week ago, I posted something saying, today has been the lowest active members in my earning team in 30 months since almost as since I started mining. Because there was the hackathon and this and that, and that was not exciting for pioneers because it already happened before.
Yeah.
And once they do that, it's just the regular apps. It's not that excitement. And then when they listed Pi in the exchange,
which we'll talk about
20,
later.
20 pioneers came back. So I understand that they want to be cautious. Honestly, I wish they can go in as soon as possible. Pi has monetary value, and then members that want to create apps, they'll do it right away.
Gladly. They'll do it
They'll
gladly.
do it. But I know they want to take their time. Maybe it's on purpose. To be honest, maybe they're doing it on purpose. Just that's their strategy. That's a strategy they have. It's okay.
I do have a theory. I do have a theory about certain things, which we'll get into in the next segment. But when it comes to open network, I personally always have believed that it was always going to be 2023. 2022 was going to be, now it was supposed to be mass KYC. That was the year of mass KYC, 2022. Somehow it didn't happen. I
As
asked some
always.
people, I asked some people in a poll recently in one of my live shows if they believe mass KYC was happening. And surprisingly, overwhelmingly, most of them said they believe it was happening. And I was like, okay. Personally, I thought it was happening but it wasn't happening like mass KYC. It was happening, in a scaled form. You get what I'm saying? That's the term I use. So it's a scaled form. So it's an upscaled form of of KYC solutions. And that's what I believe they're doing. I don't believe that mass KYC in itself is here. I believe they've scaled it up, so maybe the latency is a bit low and the scalability is a bit high. Therefore, when you apply for mass KYC, the response rate is much faster compared to the way it used to be before. People that applied earlier might not go through that high scalability because they've already applied. But the ones that have been invited to do their KYCs now, they would have a response much quicker. You get what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
what I believe is happening. That I know is happening. Yeah, I know you want to
And
say
and
something.
and also, I haven't been able to validate a single person in more than 2 months, almost 3 months. And
Yeah.
at the beginning, I was doing it like maybe 5 or 10 a day, and it hasn't been working. The app, I don't know why. I have no idea why, and
Yeah.
that's why it's slow again.
No, it's working. The app is working, but I believe what they've done is they've moved their way from certain regions. So, for instance, here in the UK, it's very hard to KYC, to validate people. It's very hard now. I've not found anyone to validate in the past at least 1 month now. I haven't validated anybody. Anytime
Yeah,
I try to go to the KYC.py
it
app
just stays there.
tool, Nothing happens. I keep refreshing it the whole time. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
But then I realized something. People that are living in African countries, Asian countries, even maybe South American countries, are beginning to get KYC'd now. Before, they weren't getting KYC'd. Now, I remember one guy said he validated 40 people in one day, and he's from Nigeria. So it means it's been moved there, and they're getting to validate people, and we've been kept waiting, which is okay. I like that, because I want everybody to be KYC'd. So it shouldn't be centered around a certain region. It should be spread. But then I think, why would you even do it that way? Why don't you just say, all right, we're distributing such and such amount to be KYC'd on a daily basis, so it's widely, evenly distributed. You get what I'm saying? So the regions with the highest amount of pioneers get the highest rate of validations. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what I think should
Like
happen.
like a lot of people from India, they validated thousands and thousands
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
there's so many people there.
Too many people. China, the same thing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
But
some other
can I
countries.
ask you something?
Yeah.
When you were validating members, you can recognize their faces.
Yeah.
They were like from specific countries. Do you
Yes.
remember where you were validating in the most? What kind of ethnicity?
Pardon?
What kind of ethnicity were you validating those members? Do you remember their faces when you were
Oh
doing
yeah,
it?
yeah. It was across the world.
For me, most of them were from Asia.
No, I validated a lot of people from Asia. A lot
Yeah,
of people.
myself too. Asia, nothing
Yeah,
from America.
yeah. I validated a lot of people from Asia, a lot of people from UK as well, a lot of people from Europe. I validated a few people from Africa and maybe one or two from America. But it was predominantly Asia and the UK. Those are the
Yeah.
ones I got. And sometimes Europe, I got them a lot. Asia, a lot of the times. But Asia, the validation was mostly to do with the likeness and maybe some pictures. So it was mostly the liveness check and comparing their pictures. But when it came to the passport itself and the driver license, it was always UK.
Oh, okay.
Always
Yeah,
UK. Yeah,
yeah,
that was always UK. So I would always get passport. I think I got one Nigerian passport and one Ghanaian passport, and then a few Europeans. But I never got an Asian passport. It was always the liveness check or comparing photos, and that's what it was.
yeah.
But I never ever got passport comparisons and all of that. I never got that. But yeah, it was interesting. It's interesting. So yeah, open network definitely. Me personally, like I said, I think the core team are very patient with it, and me personally, I want it in the first quarter, which means latest March. Latest March. That's when I want
14.
it. Yes,
March 14?
latest March 14th. Yeah, well, they could make it on that day, because it's a special day, it's Pi Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could make it on that day. But personally, I would want it to be the latest. I don't want it to go beyond that because I have my reasons, and one of them is, I feel like pioneers need some sort of reassurance because there are a lot of pioneers who have also locked up. Look at the lockup rates on average, it's 78%.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's one thing we should look at. As much as 22% will be in circulation, we still have 78% locked up. And that's what I'm looking at. 78% is really high. So there is no panic buttons to be pushed here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There is
yeah.
no panic buttons to be pushed. If we go on the open network, we will still be fine because we have a lot of our pie in lockup. So I
Yep.
don't see where the fear and pessimism, if there is any, from the core team is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Personally,
That's true.
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree with that.
yeah. So that takes me straight to our final segment, which is about what's been going on lately, to do with Pi on exchanges and the pandemonium we've had lately. Now, before we get into it, tell me, how did you hear about Pi being on exchanges? Before we get into the nitty gritty.
I think on the 26th, somebody posted a tweet from xt.com, I think it
Yeah,
was, that they
yeah,
were going to add in 2 days. They're going to list Pi in their exchange.
yeah,
And I was like, okay, maybe this is a scam. But then I went and did a little research about the company, and it's a legit
yeah,
exchange.
yeah,
So 2 days later, they did it because it said over there at what time it was gonna be. So it was
yeah.
like
They said it.
7 p.m. here in America.
Yeah.
So I got out from work. I checked the page, and it was already there. I was recording it. The first $1, $2, $3. I was
Yeah.
looking at it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And that's my first question was, is this real pie?
Hmm.
So I tweeted, what's going on here? Maybe we already entered mainnet, and then
Yeah.
Picor team, they were going to announce it later on. But then the next day or 2 days later, another exchange, and then another exchange. It got crazy.
Yeah.
I loved it,
Hmm.
even though finally, late, like a couple of days later, the Picor team said, oh, this is not legit, we are not associated with them. But it helped a lot, because that's
Yeah.
what the community needed.
Yeah.
20 members. After I posted that tweet about the lowest active members, in 1 week 20 members returned. That is great, and everybody's
Yeah.
saying the same things. They got the sleepy pioneers came back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's good. That's
Absolutely.
great.
Me, I'm personally excited about it. I mean, I don't know if you watched my video the other time, but anytime I do a live show, I'm very excited about that. And I let people know my excitement. I always bring them down to earth and let them know it's pseudo pie, it's IOU. It is not our pie, because our pie at the moment, as far as I'm concerned, it's not in circulation. If it's in circulation, then it's not my pie. I don't know how that would be in circulation. So technically, it's not in circulation, but the fact that it generated this pandemonium, the interest that suddenly celebrities, blue tick, Twitter
Influencers.
users, I mean, proper influencers. I had a conversation with a blue tick guy. We're having a chat on on Twitter 2 days ago, and I asked him, so what does he think about Pi Network? Because I saw that he tweeted something and he created a poll and people were voting and all of that. So I DM'd him, and he gladly responded and said, "Listen, I'm trying to push Pi Network. I'm a pioneer, but I was demoralized, and now that I've seen this, I have a platform to push for Pi to
Yeah.
be
I
known." So
think I
he's
saw
using,
that. I think I saw
yeah,
that tweet from you. Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's using his influence to,
Yeah.
do what we expect them to do. And I'm glad that now, me, what I'm waiting for is for somebody like maybe CZ, to just subliminally, because I know how he sends his messages. His tweets are very subliminal. So he would subliminally say something, but mistakenly mention Pi, and
Yep.
we know it's going to go viral, because Pi at the moment is probably the most trending crypto on Twitter at the moment. I
Yeah.
believe so. I believe so. So yeah, let's go into
About the
this.
founder
Yeah,
of
continue.
Binance,
Binance. Yeah.
I wish he doesn't do anything right now until everything is
Yeah.
official.
Me too. Me too.
Like,
That's what I've
even
been
though
saying
it's
anyway.
gonna be like better for the,
Yeah.
the community,
Yeah.
that exchange is the biggest.
It's the biggest.
So
Yeah.
I'd rather wait for them when it's official.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
actually said
because,
that.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. I actually said that a few days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. One of my videos. I said, listen, CZ, Binance owner or the co-founder, he is not going to talk about Pi. Even if he talks about Pi, he wouldn't mention Pi. He'll be subliminal about it. Recently, he talked about utilities are great, this and that, and I made a video about it that he may be talking about Pi. You understand what I'm saying? But he
He
will not
may be,
mention.
yeah.
Yeah, he may be, but he will not mention Pi. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because his exchange is the best and the biggest of all the exchanges. You get what I'm saying? The volumes
Yeah.
that they take per day is in hundreds of billions. You get what? It's a lot that they take, or tens of billions that they take per day. So he's not gonna compromise it for with all due respect, for a crypto that hasn't launched yet. You get what I'm saying? He's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
compromise. He's not gonna compromise it. So that's what I said, and I believed in it, and I keep being consistent with it, and I keep telling pioneers, listen, let's be excited, but let's also know that the rule is there. We've signed a document. If you haven't been migrated yet, you will be migrated. And before that, you're going to sign a document. It's a digital
Yes.
signature. Once you sign that document and your Pi is in your wallet, you're bound by that document not to use your Pi for fiat until we are on the exchanges. Or sorry, we are in the open network.
Open
Anyway,
mainnet, yes.
yeah, I know you will continue with what you want to say when it comes to what's happening, because that's the main thing that's happening at the moment. So
Yeah,
continue,
and
please.
another questions that we all have, are they gonna honor those prices from these exchanges? the listed
Exactly.
pie. Let's say like I posted something a few days ago. What if it's 75 bucks?
Mm.
Are we going to be able to go with our real pie there and start trading it? Or they're only going to liquidate those members who bought the IOU coin at the
Mm.
beginning? We don't
Exactly.
know.
We
That's
don't
the
know.
questions that we should ask them. Are you going to
I
honor those prices?
I sort of I asked I put it was like a general tweet out there to one of the newest crypto exchanges that adopted listed Pi called Atlantis. So I went to Atlantis and I know I sort of tagged them and I said, so tell us what your plans are for this Pi that you've listed on your exchange. I haven't got a response yet. I'm waiting because I realized they've been responding to people, but when you ask them direct questions like that, they can't answer.
Honestly, I don't trust that exchange
No,
at all.
no.
Man, I heard some stories like months ago. They have a lot of coins in there or stocks in there, and they're still in there.
Yeah, they're gonna be like FTX eventually. You never know.
Yeah, I will never go there. And I don't even know why
No,
they put that number of 30, how much?
yeah, exactly. I think it's
35,000?
somebody. Yeah. Initially, they started with that weird number of 31,400. Pi 31,400. They were very close to 314,159. They were very
Oh,
close,
come
but they
on.
weren't
That's
quite
so
close.
stupid.
So I mean, when I saw it, I said, "Nah, man, don't be kidding me. Don't be joking."
But
You
trust
know.
me, they're gonna get some of those pioneers, or maybe members, not even pioneers, just members
Mm.
that want, oh my God, let's go and get
Yeah,
it. I mean,
yeah,
that's how it works.
yeah. But it's too
Some members
high.
are gonna fall for that.
Yeah, but it's too high. How can you buy it? What if when Pi launches is very low? You've lost. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
It's a
You've
risk.
lost. It's a big risk. So I'd
Even
rather
at
it
even at
starts
five
low.
bucks or 75 bucks, it's still a
Yeah,
risk.
I would say low is better, but they're not doing low because they want to take your money. So they're doing it high because they
Yep.
know you're gonna pump money when you see it. Oh, it's gonna be higher than that. Then no, you're lying to yourself. It's not gonna be. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
everybody
It's not
should be
gonna be.
careful with that.
Yeah, they should be very, very careful. So looking at that, what's your take? Looking at that, what's your take when it comes to the future of Pi, our Pi, you and my Pi, the future of it, during the open network? What do you think?
I think we're gonna be fine. We are going either way. If they go soon, like in the next couple of months,
Hmm.
or maybe at the end of the year, Pi will be
Yeah,
fine. Pi will be successful. There's a lot of people that are interested now. I mean,
hmm.
influencers. I was watching today when they tweet something about a different coin, and then I saw maybe 20,000 views, maybe 30,000. With Pi, he
Hmm.
has like 150,000 views.
Yep,
Yeah, I mean
that's the thing.
everybody that is tweeting about Pi. So
Yep,
if we continue this way, more members are gonna be more interested, and they're actually gonna invest, even
yep,
if they're not pioneers. And that's good for
absolutely.
me because I've been saying we need all different aspects. We need investors, we need pioneers offering goods and services, we need the peer-to-peer, we need everything. And some members just want only one thing, to be able to trade it for goods and services, and that's it.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
no, it's not gonna be enough. Has to be with everything,
everything,
not only
everything.
one thing. And
But but
they're in love with what it says in the white paper.
yeah,
Just that. What about everything else?
yeah.
It can
The
be
white
so many
the,
things.
Yeah, the white paper is more of a broader idea. You get what I'm saying? Remember,
Yes,
white papers are written as a projection to the future, but it doesn't necessarily fall in line. You get what I'm saying? Because as long as you're within the realms of the rules, you're not breaking any rules. You get what I'm saying? And people don't realize that the white paper is a guideline. It's a guideline to what could, should, would happen in future. But the future, you can't predict it. I don't think beyond their wildest dreams, the core team ever thought they would get almost 50 million engaged pioneers, let
yes.
alone where we are. I don't think they even thought they were going to get 1 million like they got so quickly.
Yeah, it got too big too quick, and they
Exactly.
were not ready for this.
They were not ready for it.
That's
So
why this is
people,
happening.
exactly.
Because they're taking their time and they have to do this, they have to do that because it was
Yeah.
too quick.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think they had to inculcate the advertisements and everything onto the system? Because they weren't getting money. The funding wasn't coming, so they needed to get money from somewhere. Therefore, the adverts on the app. So anytime you logged onto your app to do something, adverts will come, and they get some monies from it eventually. So that's how they make some of their monies to fund this whole project. Right now, I believe they're getting funding from elsewhere because potential is there. Some other rich people might see that there's potential, so they
I
would
think it's
invest some money in
necessary.
it. Yeah, it is necessary.
And this is the same thing about people creating dApps, the
Yep.
applications. I mean, if it doesn't have monetary value and you're going to be spending days, weeks, and months
Yeah.
creating an app and you're not going to be making any returns, I mean, you need resources.
Yep.
You need
Absolutely.
time. You need to work.
Absolutely.
If you have a normal job, like 9 to 5, I mean, you have to be there all the time and then come back and then spend time doing I mean, that's why I keep saying once it has monetary value, it'll be easier for
It'll be
members to
easier.
focus in
Yeah.
creating this app, knowing that
Yeah.
they're going to get good returns.
Good returns. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
right now it's in limbo. A lot of people are very worried. They don't know. Even people are doubting how much pie rates they're supposed to give. They're supposed to put on their goods because they don't know. They're thinking, okay, we talk about consensus, but at the end of the day, am I going to lose or not in the end? So those are the questions that people have hovering over their heads. So it's very difficult for pioneers to sell things on the utility platforms,
Yeah.
particularly PyChain Mall and all the other ones that are
Remember
being.
last time we talked about the 314,000,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's fading away.
Oh yeah, it
I
is.
mean, and finally we got so many insults, and at the end, we never insulted anybody. It was
Nope.
just like, I don't believe in it because
No.
it's way out of proportion.
Yeah.
And then
That's
right
not gonna.
now we're here, and what are they gonna say now?
No. Well,
Create
that's
another
the
kind of
thing.
hype?
Well, it's not there. It's not even trending anymore. The hashtags are not there. Some people try to fit it in here and there, but nobody's looking at it. I don't think they themselves even believed in it back in the day when they were saying it,
They were
but they
just
thought
trying
it
to
was
get more
trending.
followers.
Exactly, they thought it was trending. So why not? Let's go with the flow. But that's not how it works. Because when your followers realize you've misled them, you become an issue. You become a problem. And we've been consistent. I mean, I know I've been very consistent about the fact that listen, please don't mislead people because that's not going to hold. Eventually, when the time comes, people will realize you've been lying to them and you knew the truth all along, but you didn't tell it because you wanted followers and you wanted all these people to believe in what you're saying. And I'm done talking about that. I even tell people I don't talk about that anymore because it's not relevant anymore. You understand? It's never been
Yeah, that's
relevant.
true.
So, yeah, we talked about it briefly in our other video, and that was it. But now we know what could happen because we can see it with our naked eyes. And I'm excited. I can say that with absolute certainty that I'm really, really excited about what could happen with Pi. And I think that the core team would have to do something. Yeah, go ahead, Edycabas.
Do you like the price that you're seeing, even though it's IOU?
Which one?
I think it's Huobi,
Huobi. Huobi's
which
one, isn't it?
is the one that
Huobi's
has the
one is
most
the
volume
yeah,
daily.
Huobi one. I think Huobi has
Yeah,
the most
yes.
volume. Yeah, but they're
It's
the
like
one that I trust because I know they're a big exchange. They're not a small exchange, so I sort of trust them in a way. Obviously, I will not buy their IOUs, but I think the price, in a way, it's okay for me because I'm doing some estimations here and there, potential market cap, potential volumes, potential circulation numbers, and all of that. And looking at that, it seems more realistic, if you get what I'm saying. It's high, but it's high, more realistic. It's not high as in very high. It's not in
out
the
of proportion.
thousands.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not in the thousands. So I would say it's okay. But personally, I don't believe Pi will start at that price. It won't. It won't start. It's always about where it starts from. It will start quite low, probably in the tens, maybe 10, 15, 20, maybe 50, but it won't go into the hundreds yet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we know it will rise very quickly because of the fact that the volume is going to go up, and therefore,
The demand will
yeah, the
tell us,
demand will be. I know
and
the demand is going to be high. I'm very certain of that because right now the buzz is there, and I believe now this is I didn't think about it, but I believe with this buzz, if the core team are confident enough and say, let's get to the open network, I believe Pi could become one of the strongest cryptos there's ever been.
Yes.
I believe so. If they go with the buzz, if they let the buzz die away,
exactly.
we would have a bit of an issue.
That's what I was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
This is a momentum. We have to use the momentum.
Yep.
Don't let the pioneers go to sleep again. You know, get them excited. Give us more information besides the hackathons. Talk about other details that we want to know.
Well,
you know, and that's how you get people excited.
I hope they do watch the stuff that we do, because me personally, almost everything I do is about Pi Network. I don't do anything else other than Pi Network. I specify I'm exclusive with Pi Network. So I dig deep when it comes to Pi Network. I don't just sit around blabbing. I dig deep, I communicate with people, and I get good information. But the core team, I love them to bits for the work they've done. But personally, I feel like they could do more. That's my personal opinion. They could do more, because I've got a lot of people that talk to me, just like you. A lot of people, a lot of different pioneers. You know, they have their own grievances here and there. Some of them make sense. Some of them don't make sense. But it's all grievances. Do you know what I mean? And personally, my own opinion, I think the core team must go with this buzz. They have to. They have to go with this buzz. Maybe not now, but within this first quarter, something has to be done. Even if they announce something, that will create a buzz. I'm telling you, if
just
they announce
something,
in relation to the open network, a buzz will be created, and suddenly you bring them back to the fray. What do you think, Edycabas?
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Remember the last two interviews they did, the core team?
Yeah.
They were saying like things like, "Oh my God, this is gonna take maybe 1-2 years," because they're trying to create really good utility apps.
Yeah.
And it's not that simple.
No.
And they were saying it's not gonna be that simple, but we're gonna keep trying. So if they're waiting for something like that to happen, man, it's gonna take forever, because it's not that easy to create a like really good app.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, what if you just go to the open mainnet and then, like I said many times, start creating the apps right now? More people are gonna go all in to do those apps, and that is gonna help a lot. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's funny. Obviously, I think what they're doing, because they don't have a proper timeline, they're making it, very
as they go.
Yeah, and they don't want to give a definitive answer to any question that's being asked to them, because once they do that, social media is just gonna go
and they're gonna start sharing it, and then
exactly. I remember when Nicholas Kokalis said, somebody asked him, one of the interviewing guy, not the latest one, the other guy, asked him, so what's the price of Pi? And he said, oh, the price of Pi is what pioneers say it is. And suddenly, suddenly the GCV people say, yes, so our price is great. Our price is great. But that's not what he meant.
340. Yes.
Exactly. That's not what he meant. So I kept making the analogy that when Jesus said, if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek, he didn't mean turn the other cheek. He meant walk away. Don't retaliate, but walk away. But a lot of people thought, well, not a lot of people. Now people have grown to learn that he didn't mean turn the other cheek and get slapped again. But do you know what I mean? It's similar to that. If he's saying that, the price of Pi is what pioneers say it is.
Yes.
He's not telling us to say 314159.
Everybody has a different interpretation of that.
Exactly. So why don't they sell their car for 314159 rates? Sell your car for 314159. I'll buy it. I'll gladly buy it. You understand? So
I just keep saying that. Yeah, I just keep saying that the market is gonna dictate the price. I know some members don't agree with me, and it's fine. But it's better for me to look at one price in the whole day, maybe different prices, because it's gonna be up and down.
Yeah.
But it's better to know that at this point you can get it for that price, or trade it for goods and services for that price, instead of what is happening right now. Some members are doing it for like 50 cents, $1, and all the way to 314,000. That's a huge gap.
Yeah,
some members are losing in the trade, some members are winning in the trade.
Yeah.
What if it was only one price? Everybody's
easy peasy.
Everybody's getting the same benefits.
Yep. You're right. If it's one price, what will happen is, okay, there'll be small fluctuations here and there.
Yeah, of course.
But the difference here will be probably plus or minus 0.01% of what the price is. So people will not really lose that much, even if they sell it for a certain price close to the price of the day, the price of pi of that given day. You don't lose much because it's just a
Exactly.
few microcents, not even a cent, a few microcents. You get what
Less
I'm saying?
chances of losing on those trades.
Exactly. So I believe people should be, sorry, the core team should look at all these things because we're sitting here talking about it. We're not actually just making noises on social media. We're talking. And I hope that one of them sees what we're talking about and says, these guys have a point. You know, they do have a point. We're not even speaking for ourselves. These are ideas that people have also shared. You know, it's not just me. Somebody has also, you know, suggested that, and it made sense. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about it because I have a little platform here. So I use my little platform to talk about it. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I know you will use your little platform to also talk about it.
We're
And that's it.
we're kind of speculating. I mean, we're
Yeah,
we're not
that's
saying
it.
that it's going to happen the way
Oh,
we
no,
say, but it might happen, and that's what
it
they
might.
well, that's what the regular pioneers wants to hear,
Yeah,
wants to
yeah,
know. So that's why we're talking.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Edycabas, so before we go, what will be your parting words for whoever is watching, the guys that are watching? What will be your parting words for them? Because I know you're very active on Twitter. So if you were going to say something on Twitter, what would you say now based on everything we've said?
Well, pioneers, keep on mining. Try to invite more members, which is good. Do not only think that the only way to acquire pi is going to be by mining it. You need to offer goods and services at this point, because right now you can get more pi, the real pi, not only the IOU pi, and start offering goods. And if somebody wants to trade it for $5, come on, offer goods and get those pi in your account. Start spreading the hashtag Pi Network on Twitter. Start spreading maybe on Facebook. You can do the same thing. We need to make it more noisy at this point, because it's happening. And whatever you see out there, get into the conversation with other members that don't know anything about Pi, because they say like, "Oh, so how come Pi is being like crazy today?" Just go there and talk to those members and tweet and retweet and don't let the momentum go down, slow down. So we're gonna be fine. It's gonna work out. I'm very excited because I like those prices that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
I think that's possible to get to that point. Some
yeah,
members have completely disagree with me. They think it is going to be only like a few dollars or maybe less than a dollar. Even for me, if it gets to those prices, I'm going to do whatever I can and use my strategy to get more pie,
yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
But we're going to be okay. And this is really exciting. I hope we can go to the mainnet soon, March 14. I'm
Yeah,
expecting maybe June 28th,
yep,
the latest.
yep.
But I'm glad most of my people that were like they gave up on Pi, they came back, and every single day I keep having more members
Yeah,
coming back, and that's what I wanted to see, to be honest with you, because I was bored with only announcements that they were not like that excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it covers everything you said. I'll just obviously add a little to it. I'll not say much. All I can say is, listen, guys. Pi Network, it's come a long way. You know, it's really come a long way. Some of us have been in it right from the start. Some of us have been in it just yesterday. However long you've been with Pi, you are part of the Pi family. And whatever is being said on social media with respect to Pi, make sure you follow the rules. The rules are so important. Follow the rules. Don't break them. Don't sell your pie on any whatever wherever they're selling it. Don't do it for any fiat. Use it on the utility platform if you can, or between yourselves. You know, peer to peer. Do that. It helps. It helps with the flow and the circulation of Pi within our Pi ecosystem and obviously the enclosed network. Now, with the open network, we don't know when it's going to happen, but we hope that it happens. I hope it happens in the first quarter. If not, the later should be the second quarter. I don't want it to go beyond it because there is a buzz, and I want that buzz to keep going. Do you get what I'm saying,
Consistent.
guys? Consistently, and when that happens, trust me, Pi is going to be the best. I believe so. I can see it. It's got potential, but right now we have the chance to put it up there. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying they should release it today. No, not now. But between now and the end of the first quarter, they could do something, even a huge announcement. Give us a timeline. You know, say, okay, we're working on it. It's going to be on such and such or around such and such date. And trust me, we will all be buzzing. Do you know what I'm saying? If they give us a timeline, we'll be buzzing. We're not saying they should say, oh, release it today. No, that can't happen. From what I'm seeing, it can't happen. But, you know, down the line, we could, if we have something, any news, we'll be happy. Edycabas, listen, yeah, if you've got something else to add,
No,
please,
no, I think I'm fine now.
yes.
I
I'm
agree
so
with
happy.
you.
Yes, I'm so happy you joined, and we hope to be doing this some other time again. Obviously, we both work, we don't have time, so anytime we feel like we're free enough, we can do it. If you want me to do it on your channel, just let me know. I'll be ready. I prepare myself, and then we can do something. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
So no doubt,
Maybe next time that we talk again, we are already in the open mainnet.
well, you never know. We could talk a lot.
You
A
never
lot
know.
more things. Yeah, a lot more things will be discussed during the
Yeah.
open network. Thank you so much, Edycabas.
All right.
Guys, this was Edycabas exclusive. Do you know what I'm saying? Please go to his channel. I'll put his link in the description. Go to his channel, subscribe, follow him on Twitter. I'll put his link there as well. And the name is Ray. The channel is Race United. The word is peace.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.